Hello and welcome to another episode of the Look It Up podcast with myself, Tony Gudo, and my grandson, Chip Almer. And as you know, we always talk about football at this time of the year because basketball ain't here yet.
Starts next week.
It's starting to, I think the NBA starts in a week or so. We may talk a little about the Pelicans. And I know college basketball, they're already talking about the rankings, so they would be coming up in the next couple of weeks also. You can find us where?
On YouTube under the Look It Up podcast and Facebook under his name, Tony Gudo.
Yeah, when you do, look it up. Look up our podcast and look at it. Please share it. Share it. You can like it if you like, but we need you to share it because the more people to look at it, the better for us. There's no money involved, but just people like to hear us talk about football. That's what we talk about. And what we think is going to happen, and talk about what have happened in the past. Today we're going to talk a little bit about college football to start with and go from there and see what some of the biggest things happened this week. First of all, my picks didn't do too good. I only went 2-4 this week, so not good on my picks.
That's not good.
There was a lot of upsets this week. A lot of teams that people thought were going to win and they didn't. A lot of teams fizzled out. We'll get to the one by one in a few minutes. But anyway, like I said, if I give you picks, don't bet nothing you can't afford. Only bet what you can afford to lose. All right, starting in college football. Big news. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest games I thought this past weekend was the Indiana-Oregon game.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
Indiana dominated them. I mean, that was one of my picks. I thought Oregon was going to handle Indiana with no problems at all. But when you look at the game, it ended up 30-20, Indiana. But really, Oregon
just didn't look good.
They had a pick six. Oregon had a pick six. That's why they had 20. Other than that, they would not have had 20. And in the second half, listen to this. In the second half, Oregon only had 41 yards of offense. 41 yards of offense. That's how dominating the Indiana defense was.
It wasn't as big of an upset as that. I mean, it wasn't an upset at all. But the Auburn-Georgia game we were watching, and Auburn had 15 yards of offense in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe Indiana's defense played that good against Oregon because Oregon's a top flight team.
Yeah.
I mean, it really surprised me.
And then Georgia came back at the end.
Yeah. And anyway, Indiana dominated. Ole Miss hung on to beat Wazoo 24-21. They were big favorites in that game.
Washington State.
And Wazoo went to Ole Miss and had a hell of a game and almost beat them.
What'd you say?
Wazoo, Washington State.
Oh, Washington
State. Ole Miss won like 24-21, I think it was. Florida State got beat. Florida State again got beat by Pittsburgh this time.
Pitt.
Another big game that really surprised me, Texas and Oklahoma. I thought Oklahoma was going to dominate that game against Texas. If not dominate it, at least win the game.
They got their
They didn't even look like they were there. I mean, it was 23-6. 23-6. Defense.
It was
Texas's defense.
It was a boring game though.
But the problem was Oklahoma quarterback had just came back.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had any practice. He hadn't done anything.
I don't think he practiced all week. I think they just threw him out there.
So that's kind of hard on the quarterback when you do that. Colorado Buffaloes, they upset the Iowa State Hawkeyes 24-17. Tennessee 34-31 over Arkansas. They took care of business against Arkansas. Texas A&M, which is a team that we need to be watching. A&M has moved up quite a bit in the rankings. They beat Florida 34-17, and it really wasn't as close as that. It wasn't that close, 34-17. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M is handling business.
Yep.
USC coming from behind. They're winning 31-13 over Michigan. They're a team to watch. And this week, guess who they play? Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Notre Dame and USC, a big
But
rivalry.
Notre Dame ain't been good this week. I mean, good this year. So
they only lost 2 games. So they're still in the hunt. But this could tell the difference if they lose this game. That's going to be a tough game. Texas Tech, team on the rise. I've been talking about them for over a month now. They handled Kansas 42-17. Texas Tech is probably going to win the Big 12. At least that's what it looks like today. Georgia and Alabama both hold on to win against Mizzou and Auburn. And at the end of the weekend, what happened? Penn State fires James Franklin.
Bro, I thought they would give him the rest of the year. They fire him in the middle of the season.
I thought they'd give him another year. The guy's been there, and he's been winning 10, 11 games almost every year. But he has not won a championship.
Hasn't won a big game.
And he hasn't won the Big Ten, which is Michigan and
Ohio State.
I think the fans, the support, the Penn State fans, they expected them to win the year this year. And most people had them ranked in the top 2 or 3. So I think the fans and the fan base and the alumni just felt like, we're supposed to win it. And what we're doing, we just lost to Oregon, which was not a bad loss. I mean, you can lose to Oregon. Oregon's a good team.
0-4 UCLA.
But when they go to UCLA and lose that game, and then last week, Northwestern beats them. I think Penn State, the alumni and the fans decided, he's worth $50 million. We're going to pay him $50 million and let him go. And that's dangerous. People pay all these big old dollars now on these buyouts. It's expensive, but I mean, if you're a coach and you go in, like whoever comes to Penn State was probably going to want a big buyout because they don't know in 2 or 3 years if they don't win a championship, they may be on the way out too. So they'll be like most teams. I think whoever hires, I'm not sure who they're going to hire. I personally think maybe the guy from Nebraska.
Yeah, probably.
He was
What,
on the
Matt
radio. He
Rule
was
is his
saying
name?
Matt Rule. He said he wouldn't go, and he wasn't thinking about it. But he's an alumni from there, and he's a good coach. And I think that's one guy. I don't think they fired him without knowing, having a feeling what they wanted. They must have something in mind or someone they already spoke to. Because why you let that guy go? Got a lot of openings already. They already have, how many? I got it written down here somewhere. They already have 8. Who was it? Where I wrote that down at? I thought, 8 openings. There's already 8 openings. And guess what? There's going to be some more. At least 3. I mean, Florida State, I don't know if they're going to buy him out or keep him. I think they did decide to keep him last year. Are they going to keep doing it? Mm-hmm. Florida with Billy? We don't know. They're still losing. Billy lost again. Probably the worst record of any coach that Florida's had in a long time. So,
agreed.
So what you going to do? The quarterbacks, and pressure's on Brian Kelly. Everybody's wanting to replace Brian Kelly already. And I hear it, and I'm happy with some of the things he's doing and all. But he's still in the driver's seat right now. They play Vandy this week, and then they play Texas A&M the following week. Those 2 games are going to tell a lot of where LSU goes. Mm-hmm. But if you decide to let Brian Kelly go, what do? Who are you going to bring in? All these other openings. 8, 9, 10 openings. Everybody's looking for a coach. So where do you get a coach? They're more than likely going to stay with Brian Kelly. Yeah. Probably another year for sure. Mm-hmm. But we'll have to see what happens the rest of the year. But anyway, that's a big firing. It kind of surprised me at that point. Oregon State fires Trent Bray also this week. And UAB fired Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer, yeah.
There used to be a quarterback in the NFL who won a Super Bowl with Tampa, I think.
Ravens,
with the Ravens, yeah. Back when they had the great defense. So let's look at some. How about the top 25?
Yeah, there's a lot of SEC teams in the that are ranked in the top 25. So Papa, look that up. Look it up.
Look up what?
How many SEC teams are in the top 25?
How many SEC teams are? Okay, let's see. Pull that up. SEC teams ranked in the top 25. Oh, we got 10 teams in the top 25. Texas A&M at 4.
What?
Texas A&M at 4. Ole Miss at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama 6. Mm-hmm. Who else? Georgia 9.
LSU 10.
LSU 10.
Tennessee 11. What is that? Oklahoma 14.
Oklahoma 14.
Mizzou 16. Vandy 17. And Texas still at 21 with that win over Oklahoma.
Yep, they moved back up and Oklahoma come down. I think Oklahoma was in the top 5 or 6. They came down to 14. So that's a lot of teams. 10 teams in the top 25. How many of those teams make the playoffs? We don't know. I would say 2 or 3, possibly 4. But it could just depend because pretty much everybody plays everybody.
Yeah.
Like this week, I think Alabama plays Tennessee. Is that right?
Yeah.
Alabama and Tennessee this week.
We play. LSU plays
LSU
Vandy.
plays Vanderbilt. I'm trying to think.
A&M plays.
I've got the schedule. Let me look that up. What's the schedule at?
Look it up.
Look it up. Look it up.
Right there.
Okay, week matchups for this week. This is everybody, but anyway, Miami's still number 2, way up there behind Ohio State. Friday night, that's a big game. They play Louisville on Friday night.
Miami. Number 2, Miami plays on a Friday night.
Playing on a Friday night, and then you got Vandy playing LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Saturday. It's 11
p.m.
Another
Central.
game that's going to be a good game. Georgia Tech and Duke.
11 a.m.
Georgia Tech's been real good. I think Georgia Tech's will probably handle Duke. Duke's defense is good. That's another name, the Duke.
Washington
the
and
Duke
Michigan.
coach. That's another one they're talking about. Maybe going to Penn State.
Washington and Michigan. That might be a good game.
Yeah, Washington's been playing pretty good ball.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan just had that loss. Oklahoma and South Carolina, they playing. Texas Tech and Arizona State. Texas Tech, I'm telling you, they're a team to watch.
But Arizona State.
They're gradually moving up. They're number 7 right now. Texas Tech, number 7.
And then Tennessee, Alabama, like we said.
Tennessee and
SEC,
Alabama.
USC, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, at Notre Dame.
And then we got Utah, BYU. BYU got to watch out for. Utah got some
Utah and BYU. That's a big game again.
Obstacle.
And of course, we missed the top one. Ole Miss and Georgia. Ole Miss and Georgia playing this week. Number 5 and number 9.
I got Georgia winning this game.
I think Georgia wins, but I'll tell you what, Ole Miss has been playing good ball. And they're number 5.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else? Oh, I got one more thing I looked at here. Where's that at? This is the tiers they got right now. For the SEC, they got Georgia and Alabama. Let me try to get this so I can see it. Georgia and Alabama, pretty sure they're going to make the playoffs. And the other 3 teams they think going to make it is A&M, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. Depending on what happens the next few weeks, Oklahoma and Mizzou, they've got a shot. Vandy, they got them ranked kind of low. The media lied about these teams and these quarterbacks is what they're saying. LSU, Florida Gators, Texas, and South Carolina, all their quarterbacks are not doing as good as they were expected to do. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. We've got a long way to go. What we in week 7? We got 5, 6 more games in the SEC. So we'll see. My pick for this week in college, I'm going to take Washington. Washington plus 6.5 over Michigan. I like that game. Georgia Tech plus 1.5 against Duke. I like that game. I think they win that game. And LSU plus 2.5 at Vandy. I like LSU to cover that 2.5.
They're the underdog?
Yeah, we're the underdog, but that's because we're playing over there. The home field advantage, pretty much. Anything else on college football we need to talk about?
You want to talk about the projected playoff bracket? You want to look that up?
Somebody put a bracket up. Just looked it up earlier, and they got LSU at number 7 seed, playing Ole Miss. Ole Miss coming to Baton Rouge, and they have us winning. And then they have us going to Miami and beating Miami. And then they have us against Alabama, and they say we lose that in the semifinal, and Alabama goes on to play Ohio State, and Ohio State beats them in the championship. So that just gives you an idea of some of the projections. But they got Memphis in there, they got Notre Dame, Indiana, A&M, Texas Tech, Oregon, all the teams we've been talking about. They got them going into the playoffs. Georgia, A&M, Ohio State, Miami, Oregon. Same team. So I guess we'll have to find out. It's coming up. I think it's the week after Halloween when the first CFP rankings come out. And then after that, it's every Tuesday they come out on ESPN. Okay, so let's talk about Any injuries? LSU had any serious injuries that we know of? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Just Nussmeier still dealing with his torso injury.
He looked a lot better
He looked-
against South Carolina.
Well, you
even
could
though
tell he had the
he
zip
threw-
on the ball,
he had more zip on the ball.
and he
but
ran.
He did throw. Yeah, he did run like when he had to.
Mm-hmm.
But even though he did throw 2 bad interceptions, but I mean, South Carolina's defense is good.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They hung in there.
But
LSU
our offense finally was consistent with the run. I was happy about that last week. We actually ran the ball.
We need to run the ball.
We need to run the ball
this week. You got to keep the ball away from the other team.
We have good running backs. I don't know why we don't run the ball.
And if you run the ball, guess what? You run the clock, and you keep your defense fresh off the field, and keep the other team's offense off the field. That's the key to football, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Let's move on to the NFL. What's happening in the NFL? The Saints fell, lost to
The Patriots.
the Patriots. May had a hell of a day, so he kind of just hurt the Saints quite a bit. The Saints secondary, they just could not cover. They were bad the whole game. We stayed in the game pretty much the whole time till the end, till the last quarter.
There was a lot of bad calls in that game as well, though.
Yeah, I know there were some complaints. I know the coach complained about several bad calls in that game. But anyway, we lost that game. But I think the quarterback looked good. I thought the team looked good overall. Most of the receivers. Olave dropped a few balls.
Olave but he did good. He did better than he did in the last
And
week.
the tight end, Johnson, fumbled when he should not have fumbled. That hurt us quite a bit. That we were probably going to score on that drive. So, I don't know. We'll see in the future holds. They play the Chicago Bears this week in Chicago. I got a feeling they can beat Chicago, but, Chicago looked pretty good on Monday night. Last night, we watched them last night. They looked pretty good against Washington and ended up winning that game by, 1 point, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, by 1 point at the end, they kicked a field goal to win that game. Some other things going on in the NFL. The Ravens lost again to the Rams, 17-3. But the Ravens just got so many injuries.
Yeah. They're the same record as the Saints.
On the defensive side, they are hurting. They almost all the players are hurting, and the quarterback's been out. That ain't helping.
Yeah, Lamar's been out.
So the Ravens are losing games quite a bit, and I think they've what's the Ravens right now? They're 1-5, 1-5. That's not good. Cowboys lose to Carolina. Carolina beat the Cowboys 30-27. Carolina's defense is playing pretty good ball. In London, Denver beat the Jets barely, 13-11. Seahawks went on the road in Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars 20-17. Chargers, with a last-second field goal, beat the Miami Dolphins 29-17. Steelers handle Cleveland
29-27.
29. What was it? 27. Okay, yeah, I got said the wrong thing. 29-27 on last-second field goal. Steelers handle Cleveland.
Packers beat the Bengals 27-18.
Indianapolis 31-27 over Arizona. Indy's got a real good team. Looks like Daniel Jones has found a home there, and he's looking pretty good. They're winning some games. Las Vegas beat Tennessee.
Ooh,
And
Panthers.
Tennessee fired their coach yesterday, by the way.
And the Panthers beat the Cowboys by a game-winning field goal.
Kansas City wins over Detroit. That was a big win. That was surprising. I didn't think they could win that big, 30-17. Detroit just could not get things going.
You know what a stat?
What?
There was 0 flags called on Kansas City.
Yeah. I know. They got a lot of people complaining about that. Even the broadcasters were talking about it, I think. And several people the last few days on TV and radio, I've been hearing people complain about it. They had no penalties at all against Kansas City. And I've seen at least 4 or 5 that they should have thrown on the line, either offsides, movement, or downfield blocking that shouldn't have been doing. I mean, things like that.
Buccaneers
Buccaneers looking good.
They beat San Francisco. There's a lot of hype around Baker Mayfield for MVP this year.
Yeah, and he looks like he could earn it. He could earn it because some of the people are not doing as good. Josh Allen not looking as good as he used to.
He did not look good last night
No.
against Atlanta.
He had his decent numbers.
Threw a pick threw a bad pick to end the game.
Yeah. And they could have won that game. They could have come back and won that game if he wouldn't have thrown that pick. But,
Yeah.
you know, with those quarterbacks and Lamar hurt and a few of those other quarterbacks not doing that great, I would say Baker's got a very good chance of winning the MVP. Of course, they don't have to give it to a quarterback. They give it to a running back or a receiver.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good running backs out there right now. That boy with the Falcons,
Bijan Robinson.
he is kicking butt. Last night he had a hell of a game. He had one big run for like 85 or 90 yards. Or
80.
89.
I think it was 81.
Yeah, I mean, he is running over people. I mean, he could win the or MVP. You never know. It could be a running back if he keeps continuing doing what he's doing. But anyway, the Super Bowl contenders, the teams that everybody thought were going to be in the Super Bowl, ain't looking as great as they should be. Of course, Buffalo was one of them. And Buffalo's 4-2. They're still right there in the hunt. But they lost two straight. They lost two straight. Who else?
Eagles lost 2 straight.
Kansas City, 3-3. People still think they're a Super Bowl contender. 3-3. They won one last night. That's why they're 3-3. They were a losing record before. Baltimore, as I said, 1-5. They were supposed to be in the Super Bowl. Detroit, they're still 4-2. But they lost last night.
Yeah.
Night before last. Yeah, Sunday night they lost. So they're not looking as great as they should be. Philly's 4-2. They lost 2 in a row. So you know, some of these teams like Buffalo and Philly, they were projected to be in the Super Bowl by a lot of people, and both of them lost 2 in a row.
Ravens.
Yeah, but
1-5.
Ravens are mainly with injuries.
But it's injuries, but still they're 1-5.
Yeah, and it's hard to come back from 1-5 and get in the playoffs, especially in that division.
Especially that
Because
division.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's
controlling
now they're now 2-4. Cincinnati's, but they're hurting without Joe Burrow. They just
I wonder how's all the teams ranking in the NFL.
Yeah, let's look at the rankings, Papa. Look that up. Look it up.
With the power rankings.
Yeah.
Let's look that up. The power rankings. Let me pull that up if I can find it. All right, who they got ranked as the top team? The top team right now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what they have in the power ratings through week 7. Indianapolis, right behind them, with Daniel Jones. Behind them, Detroit. So Detroit's still up there. Even though they lost that game the other night. There's something going on with Detroit. I keep noticing they're hot and cold. So little changes are going on in the field. But remember, they changed the offensive and defense coordinator. So they're probably still trying to get their game plan in.
Rams at 4.
Rams at 4.
Steelers at 5.
Steelers at 5.
Packers at 6. Broncos at 7. Eagles at 8.
Eagles at 8.
Seahawks at 9. Patriots at 10. Bills at 11. Jaguars at 12.
Yeah. So
Chiefs
I mean,
at 13.
the Broncos are ranked pretty high in that for the West.
Falcons are up there at 14.
Yeah, but they dropped kind of low. I mean,
And our Saints.
Seattle's kind of a surprise team. They're
And our
coming from
Saints.
behind.
Our Saints went up and down. They were at 31 a few weeks ago, and then now they are at 30. They went up.
29.
They were 27 last week after the win of Giants, and they lost again, so they're 29. Jets, 32 still.
That's right now.
0-6.
They probably will get the first round pick, and I guess we're probably gonna be in the top 5. Looks like in the picks unless we do something. Read an article in the paper today. A lot of people thinking the Saints ought to start looking for the future, maybe trading some of our players. Most people don't like it. I don't like it when they talk about trading Kamara or trading Olave or Mario Davis. When they start talking about trading players, most people don't like it because those are household names, and in New Orleans they treat those players like they're part of the family. So it's hard to do. But I remember several years back, Sean Payton had to do it. He let several players go because he was trying to build a team for the next few years. And when you let people go and you trade people, you get what? More draft picks, younger players, different things. So, a lot of people are saying the Saints ought to start doing that. Should start looking to the future, make some changes, do some trades before the deadline, because the deadline's coming up, the first week of November, right? I think it's the first week of November. So if you're going to do anything, you got to start doing it now. Some of the teams that are at the bottom, you thought would be higher. It's the Ravens. They had 25. Cowboys 22. Texans is supposed to be the best team out there on that in the AFC Central, but Indianapolis is controlling that. So
where is the Texans?
Texans are way over here at number 21.
21. Yeah.
And Commanders 19. The Bears are ahead of the Commanders.
The Vikings moved to 18 because they were on bye. That's why they moved.
What?
So the Vikings moved down because they were on bye this week.
Well, the Texans, I don't know. The Texans played this week.
No.
Yeah, they won. They beat Las Vegas. They must have stayed the same spot.
Vegas played the Titans. Houston was on bye too.
No, they just played. Houston beat Las Vegas. Huh?
Okay.
Who beat Vegas?
The Raiders beat the Titans.
Oh, Vegas beat Tennessee. That's right. Yeah, I got that mixed up.
Texans were off.
Anyway, that's the rankings. What are the games? What are the big games this week? Look it up. Look up the big games.
Look it up.
Look it up. How many games we got this week? How many big games? My picks this week. I like Philly -1.5 over Minnesota. Philly got to get it turned around. Philly got to get it turned around.
Yeah.
I like Indianapolis. Indianapolis +1.5 at the Chargers. Chargers are a good team, but Indy has been playing top-notch ball, and they're getting a point. I'll take them. Atlanta and San Francisco. I like Atlanta getting 2.5. That's a good game. And San Francisco's decent.
Right.
And San Francisco has some injuries.
Want me to say the schedule?
So who else is playing? Those are the picks.
All right. Thursday night we got Steelers Bengals. Sunday we got at 8:30 in the morning.
So they're playing overseas.
They're in London.
Yeah.
They would
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville and the Rams.
Yeah.
Saints go to the Bears. Dolphins go to the Browns. Raiders go to the Chiefs. Panthers go to the Jets. Patriots go to the Titans. Eagles go to the Vikings. Giants go to Denver. Colts go to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Packers go to Arizona. Commanders Commanders go to the Cowboys. That's going to be a good game. Falcons go to the 49ers. And on Monday night, we got the Buccaneers versus the Lions.
They play the Lions. That's going to be a good game.
And then we got Texans Seahawks. Doubleheader.
That'd be good too, because Seattle's a good team. Seattle's an up-and-coming team. They look a lot better than what I made. Anyway, my picks for this week, I'm going to recap them. In college football, Washington +6.5 over Michigan. Georgia Tech +1.5 over Duke. LSU +2.5 over Vandy. Philadelphia Eagles -1.5 over Minnesota. Indianapolis +1.5 over the Chargers, and Atlanta +2.5 over San Francisco. Remember, if you're going to bet, only bet what you can afford to lose.
Right.
Don't hurt yourself or hurt your family. And lately, I haven't been doing too good on my picks. I'm not sure what's going on. The season, the problem is most teams on paper are supposed to win, but when it comes down to the game, they're not living up to their hype or whatever their rankings that they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So they end up losing the game. So it's really surprising. They got some good college games and NFL games coming up this weekend. By the way, this weekend, last week started 35 days of football. Football every single day, every single night. There's 3 games tonight, or 4 games. Some tomorrow night, some Thursday, some Friday. We had games galore. So enjoy it and look at it.
And I also want to say, next Tuesday, October 21st, NBA regular season begins. Opening week. And then want to talk about some UFC. I'll be fast.
Yeah, we watched a few fights last week. They were early afternoon fights.
All right, so first of all, want to summarize that Charles Oliveira, I talked about it last week, defeated Gamrot in the second round by submission, rear naked choke. That was a good fight. I watched it. This weekend, October 18th, we got middleweight contenders Rainer de Ritter and Brandon Allen fight, and they will headline in Vancouver. And then October 25th, next week, we have UFC 321, Aspinall gone. Undisputed heavyweight title will be on the line in Abu Dhabi. Aspinall makes his first defense against a former interim champion, Cyril Gane.
Yeah, I remember when he won the fight.
Yeah.
What was that, 6 months ago or something?
Who?
The one you just mentioned, his first defense.
Aspinall.
He just fought.
He hasn't fought. Right? No, he hasn't fought.
When did he win?
He won the interim belt, but because John Jones was still the champion, and then John Jones retired, so he became the heavyweight champ. All right, and then November 15th, we got Jack Della Maddalena defends his welterweight title against Islam Makhachev, and then announced this week was UFC 323. Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan 2, headlined in Las Vegas. Also, the co-main event will be Alexander Pantoja and Joshua Ban for the flyweight title. And Merab Dvalishvili makes a record this year. This coming up on this fight for the first fighter in UFC history to defend his title 4 times in a single calendar year.
But if all these names confuse you, you're not alone. They confuse me too. I don't know half the players. When I watch the fights almost every time, and when I see them, then I recognize them. Well, I remember him, or I remember him. Mm-hmm. So I'm not that much into UFC, but I've been watching it for like 10 years now, I guess, pretty close. And I do know a few of my name, but very few.
Yeah.
So
and
anyway,
if you do understand the UFC, please comment your picks. Also, I'd like to see what people are thinking.
Yeah, make your comments on Facebook under Tony Gudo or on our YouTube. Look It Up podcast.
Yep.
And that's it for today.
Yep. Thanks for watching another episode of the Look It Up podcast.
Go LSU.
Go Saints. Thanks for watching. There we go.
Take care. Bye.